Rain poured like the sky was weeping for them. The CEO stood trembling in the middle of the road, her yellow dress clinging to her skin as thunder tore through the heavens. Her heels slipped against the wet asphalt, headlights flashing in the storm. And the man standing before her, drenched, breathless, eyes locked on hers, was the same man she once fired without hesitation. The same man she had humiliated, dismissed, and forgotten. But tonight, he was the one standing between her and death. It all began 3 years ago. She was known in the corporate world as Amara Steele, the cold-hearted CEO of Steele Enterprises. Her voice could silence a room, her decisions could destroy a career, and her signature meant everything except mercy. She believed emotions made people weak, that compassion belonged to the poor. To her, business was survival, and survival meant power. On a stormy Friday morning, Amara had fired one of her junior staffers, a man named Ethan Cole, a single father who had joined the company to make ends meet for his little daughter, Lily. His punctuality was flawless, his work consistent, but that day, he arrived 15 minutes late. His daughter had a fever, and he had no one else to watch her. But Amara didn't care. "I don't run a charity, Mr. Cole," she'd said coldly, signing the dismissal papers. "If you can't manage your personal life, you don't belong in my company." He had stood there, eyes filled with quiet pain, holding his resignation with trembling hands. "One day, Ms. Steele," he'd whispered softly, "you'll understand what it feels like to lose everything you thought you controlled." She hadn't looked back. Years passed. Amara rose even higher in fame and fortune, magazine covers, investor galas, private jets. But loneliness became her only loyal companion. The mansion she lived in echoed with silence, her success felt hollow. Then came the whispers, rumors that her company was collapsing under hidden debts. Her trusted CFO betrayed her, stealing millions, leaving her empire on the brink of ruin. Overnight, Amara's world fell apart, and fate, it seemed, had a cruel sense of irony. It was during a late-night drive home in the rain, her thoughts clouded by despair, that her car skidded off the road. The brakes failed. The vehicle spun, smashing into a divider, leaving her trapped, bleeding, and alone as lightning cracked across the dark highway. She screamed for help, her voice drowned by the storm, and then, through the blur of rain and headlights, a figure appeared. He broke the car window, his voice cutting through the chaos. "Amara! Stay with me." Her eyes widened. That voice. That face. It was Ethan. He pulled her out just before the car caught fire, shielding her with his body as flames erupted behind them. They collapsed on the wet ground, both gasping for breath. When she looked into his eyes, memories came rushing back, the day she fired him, the pride in her tone, the pain in his eyes. Why would you save me?" she whispered. Ethan looked at her for a long moment, rain streaming down his face. "Because Lily wouldn't want me to hate anyone. Not even you." His words pierced her deeper than any wound. Ethan had rebuilt his life from nothing. After losing his job, he worked night shifts, studied online, and eventually started a small auto repair business, the same one that now serviced accident rescue calls on the highway. Life had taught him humility, strength, and compassion, everything she once lacked. In the following days, as she recovered in the hospital, Amara found herself unable to forget him. She learned that he spent his free time volunteering, fixing cars for struggling single parents, and that little Lily, now 10, adored him. He had become everything she had failed to be, a leader who inspired through kindness. She went to visit him one afternoon, unannounced, standing awkwardly in the doorway of his small garage. Oil-stained floors, laughter echoing from Lily playing in the corner. It was a world far from her glass towers. "I owe you my life," she said quietly. He smiled faintly. "You don't owe me anything, Amara. Maybe we both just needed a second chance." For the first time in years, she felt something warm stir in her chest, not guilt, but gratitude. She began volunteering alongside him, helping raise funds for struggling families. Slowly, her company rebuilt itself, this time, with empathy at its core. She hired single parents, sponsored education, and brought back those she had once dismissed, and through it all, Ethan remained by her side, not out of pity, but partnership. One evening, standing together outside his garage, the rain began to fall again, soft and forgiving this time. Amara looked up at the sky and whispered, "You were right. I had to lose everything to learn what really matters." Ethan reached for her hand, his touch steady and kind. "Then maybe, this time, you found everything worth keeping." The storm that had once separated them had now become the bridge that united two broken souls, one who had lost her heart chasing success, and one who found strength through pain, and as lightning flashed across the night sky, they stood hand in hand, a silent promise between two people who had finally learned that redemption doesn't always come in grand gestures, sometimes, it comes in the rain.